Okay, try and sort this one out. Let's talk about fish, baby. Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about all the good things and the bad things that may be. Let's talk about fish. Let's talk about fish, baby. Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about all the good things and the bad things that can be. Let's talk about fish. Fish.
Hey, Tommy.
Let's talk about fish. Let's talk about fish. Instrumental break. Let's talk about fish, baby. Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about all the good things and the bad things that may be. Let's talk about fish. Let's talk about fish. 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 Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about all the good things and the bad things that may be. Let's talk about fish. Let's talk about fish. Fish.
Yeah.
I think that one will do.
Just fine, it'll do. Just fine and dandy. Thank you, Lee Master. Oh, how nice. So click the like button or the unlike button if you're in a bad mood, and we will change your mood. We'll get you up, get you ripping, get you feeling the day. Oh, dear. GRB, hello, hello. Oh, Tommy's here. Good morning, Tommy. Thank you, Misfit. It's good to be in a good mood. This always puts me in a good mood. I get in a good mood when I listen to Lee's song. Puts me in a good mood. And we have more. We have a new one today from Cascee Bee. I'm going to play it a little later. We'll get a few more people on. It's really fun. And more to come. More to come. We're going to, I think Lee's right. I think we're going to wind up with an album. I've already created a category on my page, my channel, my YouTube page called Father Fish's Music. And it's Father Fish songs. We have two, a third coming. I've heard whispers of a fourth that will be in the works shortly. So some of y'all out there having fun. And it's fun to have you having fun here. Dan Floros. Nice hat, Father. Greetings from Sydney. Yes, and as Tommy said, where is that? That was really good, Tommy. Tommy said, hello, U.S., Great Britain, Australia, Netherlands, Belgium, and on and on and on. India will be on here shortly. We are truly global. We are a global entertainment center. A global fish folk. Fish folk. I don't know. Fun, right? Fish folk having fun. Lee, if I let Gullymon out, he'll get arrested and bugger off. And well, he won't bugger off if they arrest him. What do you think I suggested it? So they would arrest him and not you. I mean, really. You know, you got to Use him where he's best serviceable. I'm sandwiching my teeth here. Oh, glory. Let's see. I did the song thing. I did the click on the button thing. Oh, I made an executive decision. I gotta take this off. It's too hot. In fact, I need to turn the air on. Excuse me 1 minute. Get the AC going here. Oh, leg work. Hey, executive decision. I've decided I am going to discontinue my Sunday afternoon, Sunday 3 p.m. Live stream. I'm not going to do that anymore. Now that I'm up to 2 hours a day here, I will continue the Wednesday when we go out collecting. So it'll be a field trip stream. If it's not a field trip stream, unless I've got something else special and unique going on, I will not do it. While I'm not burning myself out here, I found that to do what I'm doing now, another hour in the afternoon, is not nearly as effective. By then, I'm kind of worn out. In the morning, I've got my energy level up, and I'm feeling pretty good, and it kind of kicks off the day. By 3 in the afternoon, I'm more interested in ending the day. So unless there's something really cool going on, I'm not going to be doing that. I will not be doing it on Sunday, and we'll only do it on Wednesday when we've got something fun planned, or as was the case, today's the beginning of the next week. Last week, when we have guests in, we may just blow out the sides and do live streams at the drop of a hat. And that was fun, wasn't it? I had a great time with the guys. The Tennessee contingent plus Kenny, great fun. I guess they got safely back to Tennessee, and Kenny is on his way to Arkansas, or was yesterday evening on his way to Arkansas. He's probably still on his way there. He's going to try to get into Louisiana, and then points west from there. So what a great trip. What a fabulous thing. He's also been able, in addition to visiting lots of fish rooms and lots of YouTube fish fan folks, he's also visiting family, his mother, his aunt, whoever else. So that makes it all the more worthwhile. What a great trip and what great fun. We just pray for his continued safety on the road. Oh, who else is commenting here? Lee says, I'm in a good mood now. Well, come on, bring your good mood up here. Let's check it out. Earworm, brought to you by Lee and Father Fish. Oh, today's earworm, brought to you by Lee. Come on up, Lee. Let's chat for a bit. I can do the link again, maybe. It didn't let me post it a minute ago. There it goes. Got me starting the day with a smile. Says, I don't know who. Langdon and Animals. Happy to catch a father fish live. Well, good morning. Rattletrap's here. Hey, Rattletrap. Been enjoying your videos. I love you fishing. Love it. Anthony T. Good to have you here, Anthony. Dooby-doo. Anthony's looking at getting a microscope. What do I recommend? It depends what you want to do, Anthony. If you want to look at little tiny stuff, then you'll want something like this. If you want to do necropsies, then you want something like this. Go online and look under microscopes. They are amazingly inexpensive. I paid no more for this one several years ago than I did for one I have sitting in the case that I bought, 55 years ago. And it's probably a better scope. The new one is. The other one's kind of broken down. Been beat up pretty bad. I keep it because I like the look of it. It reminds me of things. Oh. Let's see. Geo Bushcraft and Outdoors. Well, hello. Good to see you. We're getting some of the outdoor fishing and camping people in. I love those channels. Adore those channels. They are such great fun. When I'm not watching fish stuff, I'm watching other fishing or outdoors, camping, those kinds of things. Just love them. Great day, Geo. Yes. Rachy. Hello, Rachy. I need to get over on YouTube, so see what we're doing here. Great day, Geo. Yes. And I need to turn the volume off. Rachy. Like that. Dan Floros, is CO2 required? Interesting question, Dan. CO2 required. I'm going to guess you're talking about growing plants. So, is CO2 required? Really? And the answer is really. CO2 is absolutely required to grow plants. What is not required is that you add it to your system. It occurs naturally. The fish create CO2. Any organic material that is deteriorating creates CO2. Waste creates CO2. So CO2 is a natural byproduct of the life cycle in your tank. Now, it may be that you have, for example, very low growing plants, so-called covering plants. It's difficult to get them enough CO2 to really get them going. So you can add it. Adding CO2 can be as simple as buying a little 1-pint bottle of carbonated water and pouring half of it in a 30-gallon tank every 3 days, or buying an expensive, fancy CO2 injector. Both work, and both work just fine. So you can get away with doing, now if you're going to do the pouring it in the tank, buy the little bottle, don't buy the big bottle. If you buy a big one because it's cheap, by the time you poured off a couple of half pints, all the CO2 will be in the air in the bottle and not in the liquid, the water. So buy the little ones and use them up. Langdon has lost the ability to type. Well, goodness. Nobody's coming up here. Let's see. Langdon and Animals. Happy to catch a father fish live. We're happy to have you, Langdon. Let me move down here a little. Hi, Anthony, right. Rach. Good day. Anthony T. saying hi, Gio. And hi, Anthony. Rach, if anybody is interested, I've been watching some underwater documentary vids, Natural Aquarium. They're a bit older, but they are fascinating. And she posts a link to one of them. So check that out. That'll be fun to see. By the way, I looked at a stream yesterday, and I'm trying to remember whether I got the name right. Keep It Planted. What is it? Keep It? I don't think that's what it was. I've forgotten. Oh, darn. Well, it'll come up this morning. I know it will. It's a wonderful new site with an absolutely beautiful planted tank, a brand new site. Super impressive. Let me see if I've got it. Stay Planted. Stay Planted. And I just got a response from a comment I made on Stay Planted stream saying, Father Fish, thank you so much. It really means a lot coming from you. Haven't been in the hobby long, but I've learned a lot from your content. And I'm going to get over there because I want you to see this tank. It is extremely impressive. Well, I gotta get on YouTube first, don't I? Hold on a second, we'll get this. All right, I think I got it. I took it off and put it back on. Here we go. Check this out, boys and girls. This is super sweet. And she got music too, which is nice. Let's get the music. Look at that. Isn't that stunning? This is a new fish fan member is new to doing tanks, and I got to read my comment to you. Akin to Dutch systems, your plantscaping is sophisticated, technically brilliant. Look forward to promoting your vision. Good to have you with us. They were with us yesterday, and I'm hoping we'll be back today. We'll get back up to them. Just gorgeous. Well, that was unfair. Let me go give you a little bit more of it. We'll just play it through in the background. Tommy Denda. Been looking for underwater videos from creeks in Denmark because I want to make a biotope. I asked in a diving group on Facebook if anyone had any videos. No one had any. Well, they need to get with it. Anybody doing diving who's not doing videos is only going halfway. Hugh Pepling Creek is posting the link to Stay Planted. Stay Planted has about 150 subscribers, so we need to get on there and blast them up and see if we can't share this more. It's a great site. They've only got 2 videos. The other one, Dragonstone, in a 5-gallon, is really quite nice. This is amazing. It's Dutch style work, which is among the most complex and sophisticated of all the planted systems. Just really, really impressive stuff. Manish. Good morning, Manish. Good to have you with us. Langan and animals, my fish must just poop so much it's enough for the plants. Well, yeah, that's it. That's right. That's the way that works. And we're going to cut this off right there at the knees. So thank you for Stay Planted. Lovely. Just lovely. Yes, very cool tank, isn't it, Billy Dog? Really impressive. Look forward to much more from these guys. Need to get them doing more plants, more tanks. Tommy Denda, the guy at the dive shop, said he would love to film for me if I found the right creek with a bit of depth. So hopefully I'm getting a video on European minnows, gobies, and bitterlings, and their biotype. That will be great fun. Look forward to that, Tommy. Oh, let's see what I've missed here. Not much. Okay. We have, let me do this right now. We have a second song. Let's see if I can get it. Cascee Bee has done an Appalachian ballad type song that I adore. I'm absolutely in love with it. It is a complete joy. Oh, here we are. You'll find these songs um, on my page. Let me start over again. Got the volume up. Let's see. I need to put it on. We're not getting any volume. Okay, let's try it.
On my way, on my way, Father Fish. He comes on in the morning every day. Add some soil, cap it with sand, then add plants. He will help you do it the right way. Add some fish, then walk away. Feed them high quality food. Thy food is best. Keep it dirted, keep it all natural. I found my way back to Father Fish. Bye, all.
Boating season is here, and what's better than getting out on the water? How about $6,000 off a new Stingray boat? Take advantage of the Cash to Splash savings event at any of Ingman Marine's 4 convenient locations in Port Charlotte, Sarasota, Placida, and Fort Myers. This event won't last long, so stop by today to take advantage of this amazing offer and spend your summer on the water in a new Stingray. This offer only applies to stock boats while supplies last.
Well, had to make a stop there. Isn't that sweet? I love it. Thank you so much, Cascee Bee. I think she's not on yet. We'll play it again a little later when she gets on here. Really sweet song. I spent 4 years of my youth in college in Appalachia at Union College in Barberville, Kentucky. And much of that time, all of those 4 years, I was active in local ministries and local civic activity in the community. So we got into the hoots and hollers. We got back up into the mountains and met a lot of folks and had a lot of good times. It was never dangerous, and it was always just great fun. There are a few stories that are worth telling from there. We'll get into it someday. Tommy has a funny story about underwater videos. Let's hear your story. Do you want to come up and do it live, or do you want to tell us your story, Tommy? Whatever you would like. I'm working and listening. I'll take a break soon, Lee says. Tell us your story, Tommy. Jay Rose, internet is messed up. Having trouble accessing certain sites. What else? Geo Bushcraft said it's going to be a busy day for him. Hi, Jay Rowe. Rachy Rach. Watching underwater vids. Okay, so I'm caught up. Petroman, a fair price for 120 gallon. Is that new or used, Petroman? Tommy Denda. Hi, Anthony. Let's see. Yeah, Lee, that was really an excellent piece of work, wasn't it? Just all the way around. The photography, the production, the music, everything about it was really, this is a real artist we got on our hands here. We're going to be challenged, I think, by whoever this person is that's doing Stay Planted. It's really very high quality work. And within the first 2 weeks or so, they've got upwards of 200 subscribers. So it's going to move very quickly, and justifiably so. Then, let's see, we did this. I'm just trying to get caught up here. Manish Billy Dog, Langdon, Tommy, where's that? Cascee Bee. There she is. I hope you heard your song. We'll play it again a little later. Really, really sweet. Kenny D. Good morning. How are you? Ken from Arizona. Nice to see you. Ken from Lake Havasu City, Arizona. Good to have you with us. Ken D. Cascee Bee is on the album. You betcha. Absolutely. Aquatic Fish says, I'm back. Remember me. Yes, I do. Aquatic Fish, good to have you with us. Lisa Cass and GRB. Let's see, does a single smanish, does a single suckerfish in a planted aquarium come up once in a while to take O2 from the air? Is it okay, or do I need to have water movement? It is heavily planted. You do not need to have water movement. And if it's coming to the surface for air, that's because it's an air breather. Corydorus are another one. Cories come to the surface for air. They have a primitive lung as opposed to gills. It's a different way of breathing. A primitive lung is like a little air sac where they expel old air and take in new air and then stay at the bottom as they use the oxygen in that little bubble of air. It's not a big thing, it's a little tiny thing. They're only taking about a bubble's worth, but it's enough for them to be able to stay on the bottom for minutes at a time. Most fish have gills, and that's the function of the gill, to pull oxygen out of the water. So they move their gills and cause water to move their gill plates. That's what you see is the gill plate, causing water to flow over the gills, and the gills, which have blood very close to the surface, are actually able to osmotically absorb oxygen and expel CO2. So they breathe using their gills whereas these other fish have a little air bladder. They may also have gills. They may have both. And there are fish who have both. Pretty fancy little animals. No, you do not need moving water. You'll be able to get it just fine. Rattle Trap still here. Nice to have you with us, Rattle Trap. Tommy said he found. Oh, he's going to find a creek. Okay, we got that. That'll be great fun. Look forward to it, Tommy. Lee saying that J. Rose Sue had 2 yachts. He's saying, buy a boat, you'll not regret it. But if you come across the Great White, I hope you bought a bigger boat. Candy, I'm fine. Hope you and your family doing well. And then I lost that. There he is. How's Andy been? Haven't heard from him in a while. This is Ken, who was here with us in Florida for a few years and has moved out to Arizona. Nice to hear from you, Ken. Didn't recognize your name at first. I'm sorry. I'm glad you identified yourself. Ken's a sweet, sweet man, and thoroughly enjoying Arizona as he thoroughly enjoyed Florida. So we look forward to your moving back to Florida, Ken, someday. I know you're loving it out there, and it's really very nice to hear from you. I will pass your greetings on to Andy, who does pop on here occasionally, so you may see him here sometime this morning. Jay's talking about buying a boat. Good idea. Nothing like having a boat.
Hi, Grandpa.
I bet.
You saw my video?
No.
I had a quail hatch.
You did what?
A baby quail hatched in the incubator.
Oh my goodness. Oh, wonderful.
Yeah.
That's great.
Because one didn't make it. So I was getting nervous, but I've got like 7 eggs.
Will you
in
put
there.
a video on YouTube?
No, I sent it to you.
Oh, you sent it to me. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
How did you send it?
Maybe I sent it mail drop. I'm not sure, but I sent it to you text.
Oh, all right. Okay. So we have, I got to find it.
Yeah, it was the
Let's see.
Japanese one.
Oh, really? One of the big ones.
Yep.
Cool.
Oh, it is so
Let's see.
adorable. He's already drinking on his
Mary
own.
Page, Harry Potter. Not there. Betsy. That's 27th. I'll be back in an hour. Like this I am. That's not it.
Oh.
Facebook.
Ooh,
Messenger. No.
I'll have to go back and see.
Yeah,
what happened.
I don't know where to look for it.
Okay, yep, it was a text. You would have seen it. Then I'll go back and I'll look and I'll resend it.
Okay. Yeah, send it to Messenger on Facebook. That'll be okay.
Okay.
Or send it as a text to my phone number.
Okay.
Whatever works.
Okay. Perfect.
Wonderful. We have a baby quail. The first one in God knows how many years.
Yeah.
Thank you, Betsy.
You're welcome.
Lovely. Oh. So, Kendi, great to hear from you. Nice to know you're doing well. We're talking about boats. I've had a few boats. I haven't had a boat in a while. I got a fish store instead. Sort of like the same thing in a lot of ways. But I had my last boat. Let's see, the last one. I don't want to talk about the last one. I had a cruisers, a 24 foot, I think, cruisers. It's a Michigan built boat, high sides, kind of a bathtub sort of a boat. I had that for a lot of years. I wanted to get something with a bit of a cabin, And it was great fun. We had on the Chesapeake Bay. Never got it off the bay. We could have gone in deep water with it, but we never took it all the way down to the mouth of the bay. I don't even think we ever stayed overnight on it, but it was a fun boat. Paul C. Tarpon are air breathers, Paul C. says. We have a lot of tarpon here in Florida. He's talking about Sue's yachts. Oh, we have a super sticker from High Rise Window Cleaner. Thank you so much. $27.99 super sticker. Wonderful to have that. You sent me an email, I think. Yes. Here it is. Greg requesting stickers, bumper sticker and other stickers. You're in Canada. So yeah, I've got it right here. We're going to be sending them out tomorrow in the mail. So if the mail service is as good to Canada as it is to England, you'll get them in 2 to 3 weeks. But they will go out. Thank you so much for your super sticker. And very much appreciated. Every bit helps enormously. Misfit. Reptiles and aquatics. Billy Dog. Well, I mean, if you have to do a water change, why not kill 2 birds with 1 stone by doing the change and filling it back up? I've obviously missed something that made sense. Okay, here it is, Billy Dog. I have a fish tank question. My fish tank has a lot of evaporation. Should I top it off and then do a water change, or just do the water change and fill it up? That's really interesting. That's really interesting. Okay, so class, pay attention. We have a thought problem here. We have a thought puzzle, let's call it. You have a tank. The tank does not have a lid. It has a bubbler, maybe sponge filter at each end. Let's call it a 20-gallon long. Okay. It has plants in it, deep substrate, fish, beautiful tank. No lid. Light sits above it. 24/7 the light's on. Straight out nonstop. After 1 month, the water level is down nearly an inch. After 2 months, it's down nearly 2 inches. After 3 months, the water level is down nearly 3 inches, and you are beginning to feel the need to do something. So here's the issue. Billy Dog wants to know. A lot of evaporation. 3 inches, that's a lot. Should you top it off first and then do a water change? Or just do the water change and fill it up? What's the difference? Now think this through. This is not a simple, easy answer. If you top it off first, it depends, of course, upon what you are using to top it off. and you're using one of two things. You're using either RO water, spring water, or other water that has no minerals in it, or you're using your source water, well water, tap water, lake water, whatever. So if you're using this, then you're not simply replacing the evaporated water, you're adding additional minerals in addition to the minerals that are already in there, which have become stronger, or I should say, less diluted as water has evaporated. So you're back up to here if you're using source water. If you're using RO water, spring water, or other distilled water, then you're not changing the DH and KH at all. You're simply bringing it back to where it was. Then, two-part question. Once you've done that and either have increased or brought back to where it was, if you then drain a third of the water, let's say, the 3 inches, and refill it, what have you accomplished? In the second case, you have refilled the 3 inches twice. In the first case, if you do not do the replenishment, then you are adding to the existing water essentially without taking anything out. So it becomes, doing a water change becomes a question of how much more you're going to take out below that 3 inches. If you take out another 3 inches, taking out 6 inches, then in a 20-gallon long, you're replacing half of the water. If you're simply doing a water change, which amounts to nothing more than a water replacement, then you are at step 1. So step 1, step 2, step 3. To do a proper water change, what's the best option? Do I see a show of hands? Hands. Misfit says, if you have to do a water change, why not kill 2 birds with 1 stone by doing the change and filling it back up? So Misfit is suggesting option 2, which is to simply fill it back up. Now, I would maintain, and I'm not sure I'm reading you properly, Misfit. You can add to that, change it, whatever, clarify, if you will, if I'm misunderstanding what you're saying. Thank you again, High Rise Window Cleaner, for your very generous super sticker. So, Misfit, you may clarify. But I'm going to take that for the moment as option number, basically option number 1. You're replacing what was there and replacing it with, I'm guessing you're replacing it with source water, which means you're effectively increasing the hardness of the water in the tank. So you're back up to here, hardness wise. Okay, next. Cascee Bee is keeping notes on topics. That's great. You know what I need to do? And you'd be a perfect one for it, Cascee Bee. I need to give somebody the ability to go in and make changes uh, of this type. I don't know how to do that. If anybody here does, they can explain it to me. Otherwise, I'll get a hold of James and ask him. I think I need a couple of people, a couple of very trustworthy people who I can give access to be able to manage this site, to be able to do these kinds of changes. In the meantime, you can just do a post and I'll paste it, Cascee Bee. But let me look into doing that. I think it's going to make things much better. Okay, Misfit. Tommy Den, to distill water every 3 months, no water change, just replacing evaporation. That's a good fix. What that does is it means that that whatever the water chemistry is in there that's being burned out, if carbonates, for example, are being burned off, or plants or other animals are reducing certain trace elements in the water, those are not being replaced. Um, I'm not a big fan of that kind of replacement. I tend to do what Tommy is suggesting, but there's a case to be made for doing actual water change in order to replace trace elements. That's especially true, presumably, in saltwater tanks, although I have some issue with that there as well. Um, and again, with freshwater tanks, replacing elements in the water that are being used up. Mary Page, Father Fish and Shoal, good morning. Nice to see you. Aquatic Fish is in LA, California. Bill Witt saying hello to Lee. Aquatic Fish saying, Paul C, top off with RO water, then do a water change. Well, Paul C's really cut to the chase there. And I'm kind of in the same place. Topping it off with RO replaces what was there, and then doing the water change on top of that is actually making a change in the water chemistry. Without doing a 50% water change. So yeah, I'm kind of with Paul C on that one. Let's see what else. Thunder Aquatics is here. Aquatic Fish uses well water. I love well water. You've got well water in LA. Is it hard and alkaline? I would assume it is. Aquatic is saying fish have been dying in his tank. Funk is here. Good morning, Funk. Why are fish dying in your tank, Aquatic Fish? Well water should be absolutely perfect. Should not be a problem at all. we need to have a little more description. Do you have any sense at all of why they're dying, aquatic fish? Cascee Bee talking about plastic plants. Said I lost a black skirt tetra yesterday. Didn't see what happened. May have gotten attacked. What's my point? I don't know. Stuff happens. True enough. Aquafunk. Fill and change it. Fill and change if it could have considered nitrates. That's right. If the nitrates have built up, then filling it first dilutes the nitrates, and making a change dilutes it even further. So, Aquafungus and Paul C are both on the same page. I tend to be in agreement. Aquafish talking about plants, saying never knew plastic plants can kill fish. Plastic plants. Cascee Bee is telling him to replace plastic with real plants. Bill Witt, when people want stickers, let people send you self-stamped envelopes so you're not out postage. That can add up. Well, I'm happy to do that. I have not posted my address. I'm willing to do that. For now, if folks want, it's only a few a day. When it reaches the point where it becomes a problem, Bill, I'll be certainly happy to do that. For now, if you want to send a request for stickers to Fatherfish at fatherfish.net. That's Fatherfish. Somebody post that, please, at fatherfish.net. I want to get back to this aquatic fish plastic plants thing. Who said my silver dollar got paralyzed by a plastic plant? Oh dear. Kenny D, thanks for your kind words. I miss everyone at the Venice Aquarium Society. Best wishes to you, your family, all the fine people at the society. Your site is wonderful. Best of luck. Thank you, Kenny. All right, so we're gonna pick up on this aquatic fish thing, talking about plastic plants. There are a couple of issues with plastic plants. One is that they are certainly more rigid than our regular living plants. As such, it's really hardscape. When you're putting plastic plants in the tank, you're really putting hardscape in the tank. And it tends to be hardscape that has flat, potentially sharp edges. So that's certainly an issue. Equally important is the fact that plastic plants are petroleum based. And in time, 6 months or so, they deteriorate. This is a perfect illustration of people with an economic, a fiscal interest, a fiduciary, if you will, interest in marketing to this market, to the tropical fish hobbyist market, with little or no concern for the impact of the product they're marketing. Let me say this even more clearly. Plastic plants are unsustainable in aquariums over the long haul. They are petroleum based. They're made out of the same thing that runs your automobile. They're made out of oil that's sucked up from the earth. You would not pour oil into your fish tank. Now, I do understand that there's a chemical process that occurs that changes that petrochemical into a more stable and rigid and self-contained, self-sustained, if you will, product. Nevertheless, it is what it is. And in time, it will deteriorate. And in that deterioration, it has the potential, if not the reality, of poisoning your tank. So those are a couple of good reasons to not put plastic in your fish tank. Now, I'm not talking about acrylic here. Acrylic is another matter entirely. The plastic plants that you buy, to the best of my knowledge, are not made of acrylic. They're made of a softer plastic that will deteriorate and will potentially create a toxin in your tank. Don't give money to people who don't have the interests of your fish and the life of your tank at heart, because they don't. Now, if I'm wrong and I'm willing to be called on this, then I challenge anyone who is manufacturing, or for that matter, marketing plastic plants, to make their case for the health and well-being of fish in a tank of plastic plants. Enough of that for now. And Bill went on stickers. Thank you, Bill, for your comment. Let's see. I've jumped way back, so I'm going to try to catch up now. Aquatic fish, did you make a comment about your fish dying beyond the fact that it's happening? Tommy Denda, we did that. Distill water change every 3 months. No water change, just replacing evaporation. Tommy, I like it. I really do. I think with the deep sand bed, you have the ability to replace trace elements. One of the single and most salutary bits of research on this issue has been done and was done many years ago in some of the major aquariums, particularly those housing multi-millions of gallons of water. They, rather than bringing in millions of gallons of seawater, are purchasing salt capable of creating millions of gallons of water. They used a couple of basic elements. They used mined salt. They used magnesium salt. What's that called? Can't think. And baking soda. And once they achieved the proper salinity, they added orcas. Orcas, mind you, orcas. Within 3 months, they did trace studies on the saltwater and discovered that it contained all of the trace elements of natural seawater. Where did they come from? They came from the natural biological activity of the animals living and feeding in that water. So, yeah, given a balanced aquarium, I strongly support replacing evaporation with distilled water and leaving it alone. In the case of the new song that we will be hearing, I hope in relatively short order, from Roxanne, leave it alone. Moving on. So, Cascee Bee, if you like, you can send me the list of topics, post it at the bottom, and I will paste it in the comments section after the stream is over. Misfit, never pass more than removing more than 20%. I tend to agree, Misfit. I think it's the better part of valor. It's erring on the side of caution to replace no more than 20% of the water in the tank. More than that, and you run the risk of changing the water chemistry, which can stress, which can stress the fish. Halsey wants to do water change with source water, absolutely. Angler Allen is here. Hello, Angler Allen. Tommy Denham, must have been bacteria creating trace elements. Absolutely, Tommy. The bacterial activity. They did bacterial filtration. So it was a biological system. And the biological activity created those trace elements. Colored guppies. I use sole plastic plants. No issues at all. Out of 21 tanks and 2 stock ponds, I have 4 fake plants, surface area for bacteria to grow. You raise an interesting issue, color guppies. Bacteria does grow on the surface of the plastic plants, as it does on the surface of anything else in the tank. And because the plastic is essentially inert, the bacteria will be able to grow there without much interference. Another issue that should be raised with the plastic plant concern is that there are different grades of plastic, some of which are more biodegradable than others. And I would assume that the bacterial growth, the bacterial scum, if you will, living on the side of the plants, as well as algae growing on those plants, is going to slow down and control their breakdown in the water column. It's also reasonable to assume that with a few plants in a large container, you may not ever notice an issue. And I suppose I'm being a bit of I want to use a word I don't like to apply to myself, but I think it probably applies. A bit of a stickler, um, a bit of a fuss budget by complaining about plastic plants simply because I don't like plastic plants. I prefer live plants. So I've clearly got an axe to grind there. I have a dog in the fight. Um, and my opinion must be taken with a grain of salt. So, Color Guppies likes plastic plants, doesn't have a problem with it. Bless you on your way. And send us a picture. You may even change a mind or two or soften a complaint. Color Guppy says, use some asterisk. Oh, some plastic plants. She's saying I use some. Yes. Arcus, what about the material used to make filters and power heads? Good point, Arcus. It's a different grade of plastic, certainly. Um, One of the things I have noticed with things like plastic filters is that they do deteriorate, they crack, they don't really hold up forever. After a year or two, or 4 or 5 at the most, they're pretty useless. There's also filter material made out of plastics that is a common product in the tanks. Let me go down a rabbit trail here. Let's see. Before I do that, I want to do one other thing first. I want to replay Cascee Bee's song because there are a bunch of new folks here who have not had a chance to hear it, and I think it's absolutely delightful. Let me get it up here. I've got it. I've got it on my. Goodness sakes! I've got it on my page, and that's
Hello,
Lee.
Mary.
Here's Mary.
Mary, try and.
Here's Mary.
Found my way, found my way to Father Fair. He comes on in the morning every day. Add some soil, cap it with sand, then add plants. He will help you do it the right way. Add some fish, then walk away. Feed them high quality food. Thy food is best. Keep it dirty, keep it all natural. I found my way back to Father Fish. Bye, all.
Thank you, Cascee Bee. That's delightful. And Lee's complaining He was sitting there waiting to come on. And that, I didn't see him up here, but it might have been my fault. Let's see, we need the link again. I can do that. Link, link, link. Ah. Yeah, that's a sweet picture too, isn't it? Really nice. Steven, isn't that wonderful? You bet. Link, link, link. Got the link. Oh, it's going to be great fun, isn't it? Yeah, Mary Page told me last night she's going to do one too. So this will be fun. I'm going to have to make one as well. All right, Lee, come on. Come on. Do it. Where are you? We're waiting. I don't know what's going on here. Can't be two separate ones. I wouldn't have the text here. I don't know. Langan and Animals on a new phone. Petraman. Good morning. Let's see. We jump down to the bottom here. Mary Page, you're a very emotional girl, Mary Page. You betcha. There he is. All right. There he is. Finally.
Hello.
We got
Hold
you.
on a minute.
How are you today?
I'm really good, but
Nice to see you.
I have a request.
Yes, sir.
She was really upset this morning. She's on a late shift, so I had to take her to work at 11 a.m. this morning, and she knew that I'd be watching you and interacting with everyone, and she was really jealous because she had to go to work and work hard, and she got a bit tearful, and she said to me, "Why hasn't Sir Father Fish promoted me from scullery maid yet?"
Oh,
So I
dear.
promised her I would ask you.
Oh, come on.
What?
I made her Lady of the Manor.
We missed that one.
Months ago.
Oh, that's
Lady
not my
of
fault.
the Manor.
It's not my fault.
Oh, you just kept it from her. I know you. That was, I know what happened. Gollymon was in there. Gollymon had a hand in this. I guarantee you. Lady of the Manor.
Yeah,
Sue.
that would have been it.
Sue.
That would have been it. Oh, I'm going to
Sue.
WhatsApp her. I'm going to get my phone and WhatsApp her and let her know.
We need to do this retroactively.
Yeah.
To 2 months ago. How do you
give
do
me the
that?
date? Give me the date and time.
Date and time. Well, let's go back 2 months.
Just make it up.
So that would be, let's call it July the 4th. 4th of July of this year. Our day of celebration. Our day of celebration.
Yeah.
Celebrating tearing.
We let you go. Come on, you know it. I was there. I know.
You know, I never made her scullery maid. That was not my doing at all.
Oh,
I would not dare to do such a thing. That would be demeaning and disrespectful. Take your hand off your mouth.
It was my fault.
All right.
Oh, that hurt.
We got it all worked out.
Oh, that really hurt. I'm not
Okay.
going to say that ever again. I'm never going to say that again. It was my fault.
Oh, I think it got you. I had one of those yesterday.
I know. I was there. I watched it. Oh, my goodness.
Stephen did it to me yesterday.
You were joking.
Oh, my God. That was so funny. That was disastrously funny.
You needed someone behind you smacking you on the back. Cough it up, cough it up.
Yeah, really. Get it out, brother.
Get it out.
Honest to God. Oh. So what have you been? We're at the end of the summer. Finally. Thank the good Lord. What are you doing for the fall? Well, what's it look like with the new house?
We've not moved yet.
Have you bought?
Nope.
Have you found?
We've seen a lot that we like.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
But the current situation still here in England, it's difficult. We might have to wait till next summer.
Oh, my word.
But that's okay. That's okay. That's fine.
Well, I really want to get into that English garden.
Just wait and see. I mean, I've got photos of all our properties from the past and Sue's handiwork, and she's brilliant. It really is her. Apart from the nursing, that's her speciality.
Well, I'm looking forward to
She's
how long
brilliant.
before Sue retires?
Next March, this coming March.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
6 months. Wow,
Yeah.
that's exciting.
It's
That's
lovely.
exciting. Wonderful. Well, that's going to make things altogether different, won't it?
Absolutely.
Then she'll be beating you over the head all day long.
I didn't think it through. I didn't think it through, did I?
You're going to have to find something out of the house.
I'll get a job.
You're going to.
I'll get a job.
Right. Well, start doing some outdoor ponds. That'll work.
That's really what I'm looking forward to as well. Having a room where I can have more of my aquariums back, because I used to have a lot and now I've only got 2. So I miss that. And we do miss the outside, and I did have ponds.
Yeah. Cascee Bee, what is she talking about? Oh, J. Rowe. J. Rowe's having trouble with her internet. Oh, I think I got down to the bottom of the page. I'm sure I left everything out. Let's see. Tommy Denda wants to ask Stephen the biologist about bacteria. Go for it, Tommy. Absolutely. Tommy's been brilliant today. He's made so many contributions to the stream just today. It's really been remarkable. Now, and I must say, he's been trying for a very long time, and due to no fault of his own, has not really benefited from his efforts. It's my fault he's not benefited from his efforts. No, it's not your fault. It's my fault. Because I have not done what I promised to do, which is to read his book on Patreon. And I really need to get to that. Thunder Aquatics. Now, see, this is just exactly what I was talking about yesterday when I gave that heartfelt screed about off-color commentary. And here we go. Thunder Aquatics. Very first sentence. I have several topless tanks.
He didn't mean it that way. I wrap mine with cling film, saran wrap. I didn't have tops on mine, as you know, and I cover them now.
That'll work.
Brilliant.
That'll work. I do my changes 3 different ways. 1, refill evap water with RO, then change water. 2, do change and use source water to fill all the way back up. And 3, do change, then refill with source water to where water level was before change, then add RO to full. So 1 and 3 appear to be the same result. That's very good, Thunder Aquatics, and I will give you a pass on your topless tanks, but only on the condition that you use saran wrap to hold some of that evaporation in. We don't want anything falling out, do we?
It works.
It does work.
It does.
It's really effective, and it's simple, it's cheap, it's easy. And
The
here
other thing that I found, sorry to butt in, I had my lights over the aquarium. I'd have the bubbles on, splashes of water, and the lights would get scale on them and become very dull.
That's right. Yep.
So since then, I've cleaned up the lights. They're on top of the cling film saran wrap, and they're immaculate and still very bright. So that's a positive as well. That's a positive.
Yeah. Do you get any kind of algae buildup on the saran wrap?
No, because I change it probably once a week.
Oh, I see. Okay.
It gets damaged. Sue likes to hold on to the aquarium as she's getting up. Sticks her fingers through it. So I have to keep changing it.
Yeah. Here am I doing these heartfelt screeds against the use of plastic, recommending plastic.
Well, I don't know how true it is, but the product that we buy is biodegradable, which may actually make it worse.
Probably.
Yeah, because if it's biodegradable,
you're not putting it in the water, and it's not staying on for a long, long time.
No, once a week, at least once a week, I change it.
But yeah, it works really well. It's really effective. I don't do any such thing here at the shop. I use glass as needed, but only to keep fish from jumping out.
Okay.
If I've got, for example, some big eels in a fairly shallow tank, I'll put a big heavy sheet of glass and cover it completely so they do not hit the floor. But then I'm moving things all the time, so it's kind of would not work. Actually, remember the wound I had on my hand? That was caused by a piece of glass that had broken, and I left it on there because it fit. It broke in kind of a curve. So I slid it down, and it allowed room for the pipe that was going in there. Stuck my hand in it. I think a fish bit my finger, and I involuntarily went up, and the glass, that sharp edge, hit me right here and sliced the tendon all the way through.
Oh, that was serious. Really serious.
It was serious.
Yeah.
Did not bleed at all. It healed. I went to a doctor who stitched it together. Can't remember. I think he did it one time, and it healed perfectly. I wasn't real good about keeping it immobile. I moved it some, but it did heal perfectly. But then I got this lump that came up, adhesions on my knuckle, and it got half an inch tall and burst. So I had an open wound that took 4 months to heal. And
wow.
that's when I had the cast on. So yeah, use glass, but put some electrician's tape or what's the other thick tape or broad tape, duct tape.
Duct tape.
Put duct tape on the edges all the way around. That safeguards you from this kind of thing happening. That I still have that sharp edge, but I've got it covered with duct tape, and I've hit it twice since then.
Sorry, I can purchase, and I don't know why I haven't. It keeps slipping my mind, but I've sourced a company that can cut to the millimeter the exact size of a lid in acrylic for £7.
Oh, nice. You might, when they do that, have them cut one corner 1.5 to 2 inches in. That'll give you a feeding hole.
Yeah.
So you won't have to move it in order to do that. And then if you feel the need to, you can cover that with something. But there generally is no particular need. It does help to have that little edge so you don't have to keep moving it when you're feeding. Not that you ever feed your fish, mind you.
Well, it's embarrassing to say, I watch all the videos about fish and have done for years and years and years, and I keep these African dwarf frogs, and I knew nothing about them. They just seem to get on, but I discovered over the last few days that they don't breathe underwater. They've got lungs.
That's right.
They can drown if they're in too much water and they can't get to the surface in time.
Yep.
Time over. They're scavengers, so they like feeding from the bottom. And I was feeding them by hand with the worms, but then I found out they also like pellets. So I put some of that. You remember I showed you that half-empty pot of pellets that I've used in 6 months, over 6 months. I put some pellets in, and the frogs were out, and they were going for it. And I saw one of them face off a fish, and he was going like this to the fish. Come on then, because the fish was going for the pellet, and the frog had it just under his chin. The fish was going for it, and I saw this frog go, "Gonna nut ya." And the frog chewed up, a little bit came out, didn't have teeth or a tongue, and they chew it, and he was picking it up, and he was eating it. So I fed the fish today, all because of the frogs.
Oh well. Nothing.
I've decided to take the frogs out. Sorry, I'm rambling. I'm taking the frogs out. They're going into Pretty's tank. I need to put a heater in there. And Mork and Mindy, you said that there's nothing in the big tank that can harm them. They're going to go in the big tank. Still okay?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's interesting. That'll give you the option of doing some other things as well, maybe in with the frogs.
I love that. Yeah.
They are so cool, and you've done really well with them. It's not an easy animal to keep alive long term. So kudos for being able to do that effectively.
Apparently,
yeah,
they can live to 10 years old if you really give them a good habitat. They can live to 10. Yeah.
Roman is commenting that acrylic lids will sag without being reinforced. That is true. Depending on the thickness, it'll sag anyway if it's big enough. But I would get maybe 1/4 inch. Do not get 1/8 inch. It's too thin and it sags immediately. At least.
So the one I was talking about is 4 millimeters. That's the 1/8 of an inch.
Yeah, that's a little skinny.
Yeah, okay. Thank you.
Thank
you. That's brilliant. That is brilliant. Yeah. That's just what I needed to hear.
Yeah, do glass.
Glass is the best. All right.
It really is. It doesn't sag. It's it's more inert. You do have to clean it.
That's fine.
You know, routinely.
We've got a glazier 100 meters away. Glazier 100 meters away. I can go in there with the measurements. What type of glass? Does it need to be tempered or can it just be plain?
There's no advantage to doing tempered glass. In fact, there's probably a disadvantage because the likelihood of tapping it with something sharp
and it shatters,
caused it to turn into a million pieces.
Yeah,
picked up.
Gotcha.
So you just have to be careful that it doesn't break and you don't cut your head off. So keep your head out of the tank.
I will. And Gollyman as well. I wouldn't mind if you put that off.
Let's see, Cascee Bee said she thinks Aquarium Co-op did a video on glass versus acrylic. There certainly are pros and cons. Glass can be dangerous, but then our tanks are glass, so it's no more dangerous, other than the fact that we're moving that glass lid around. Yeah, Lee.
Just had a thought. You can buy big rolls of clear, sticky back plastic. I could cover the top in a clear, sticky back plastic, trim it, and should the worst happen,
it holds it together. Absolutely. Yeah, that's like sandwich glass in auto windows.
Yeah, right, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good idea. You want to be careful not to damage it, because that'll diffuse the light some. There are pros and cons in everything, aren't they?
Yeah.
Indeed. Cascee Bee, Father Fish and the gang. I added 6 black skirt tetras. They're my feature fish. I want to build their flock up more. How many in a 40 community? By the way, it's not flock. What is it now? It's shoal. Our word is a shoal of fish. How many in a 40 black skirt tetras? Just as an aside, somebody brought some bleeding heart tetras in about a week ago that are nearly 3 inches long. So consider the maximum size of your black skirts. Yes, Lee. You had.
Sorry, I was just waving goodbye to Jay. He's got to go and do some work, so I was just waving goodbye to Jay.
Hi, Jay. So, how many black skirts? It's really up to you. I'll tell you something I've noticed about tetras. If you have a large school of them, 20 or more, they have a tendency to become a wolf pack. They will become aggressive. What was that? Did you hear that? Was that you? What was that? I think it was the wolf pack. Strange. We're being invaded. I had some, I don't remember what they were. Rasbora hats? Maybe, I don't remember. I had in my black water tank, I had about 30 of them, 30 or 40. And they schooled, and then they became an aggressive school. And they were going after, as a school, going after other fish. They became a wolf pack. So be somewhat sensitive, guys, to creating these pretty little schools of fish. You may wind up with trouble on your hands. Is that Gollymon back there?
Rohan thinks it was Gollyman.
You may be right.
Now I'm
Did everyone
worried.
hear that? That was strange.
It wasn't me.
I heard it on my computer.
I swear I didn't do it.
It wasn't in the room, and it was not in your room.
I promise you. I thought it was you. I made a joke about it. Whoa, but it wasn't me either. I don't know where that came from.
The Mary page is referring to Patrick posted a video link on her YouTube discussion. Well, we'll have to post it here. Billy Dog saw a custom lid video where they went to the Home Depot They bought this thing they use for greenhouses. Yeah, DIY uses that. Um, it's fine. He has very, very large tanks, and it's a reasonable way to be able to cover very large tanks without getting into a lot of weight or a lot of expense. It's the rippled, wavy stuff that you put on the roof of greenhouses. It is very effective. It's not effective, particularly at all, with small tanks because it gives you too much opening. With big tanks, it makes perfect sense. So, nice product uh, for an appropriate application. And moving down, Thunder. Cascee Bee. I've spent that with the ones that were inaccurate. I'm jumping in the middle of conversations here, and it's not really helpful. TDS meters, Cascee Bee's talking about. They've gone way down, Cascee Bee. I buy TDS and pH meters now for about $25. They're on Amazon, pretty cheap. And Mary Page referring to Patrick's link. Post it again so we can look at it. One of the problems with the electronic meters is that they become inaccurate, but they do sell little kits, and there's an adjustment on the back of them so you can set them to the proper setting when they get out of kilter. Cascee Bee, Father Fish, had a follow-up about feeder guppies. Yeah, that came up yesterday. Compared to ember tetras for a third community fish, the 6 black skirt tetras act very shy and hide a lot. So, yeah, maybe add 6 more, and that'll get them out swimming about. It's unusual for black skirts to hide a lot. I would add a few more to it. Embers are certainly tiny. Guppies could bother them. Guppies, male guppies particularly, can be little harassers, just going after everybody. You'll have guppies in your tank, Lee. Have you had them?
I've had them, and I had them in with Pretty, and they wouldn't leave her alone.
Oh, I'm sure of it.
Right? So I moved her. I thought to myself,
you might put guppies in with the frogs.
Oh, okay, but not if I move Mork and Mindy into the big tank, leave the guppies out of there, put them in with the frog, because they're beautiful little things, and they're so playful. They've got great personality.
Yeah. I think they'd be fine with the frogs.
Okay.
And that's a fish you really ought to have.
They're colourful, they're pretty, they're flamboyant.
And they're prolific.
Breeders.
You'd be able to and they're all different. So you'd be able to name them all.
Wow.
Yes. Bye, Betsy. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye.
Betsy's off to Iran undercover.
Yeah. She's probably going to church.
That's what she told you.
Exactly.
She told me something else last night.
Well, listen, I don't get into it with her. I prefer to stay among the living for another day or two.
We met when we were in Nam. Well, I already told you that.
Betsy is an amazing woman.
Yeah.
Utterly amazing woman. She is the most gentle, sweet, loving, giving soul you could possibly imagine.
But if you piss her off, she'll walk up to you.
And at the same time, the toughest broad you'll ever meet.
She'll cap you in the back of the head, I'll tell you.
It wouldn't take much. Big, strong girl, too. there ain't nothing shy about Betsy. And I will only say that she was charged with the responsibility of protecting some of the most vulnerable people in our society.
Ah,
And that's what she did for years. Personal protection. Just amazing, amazing woman. Cascee Bee is worried that guppies may be harassers. Well, certainly the ember tetras are not harassers. I just ordered, and I'm getting some in on Tuesday. And I can't even remember what it's called. It's another little teeny tiny tetra. Golly, what in the world is it? It's not an ember. Let's see if I can find it here. You know, I don't. Yeah, I can do this. I can do this. New tab. Let's see. This is my supplier. I want to get over here and look at this little fish that I ordered, which is not coming up. What happened to Lee? There we go. Huh. Well, that's interesting. This is exactly what one among us was just talking about. I'm not able to reach a website that I get on routinely. Ha! Son of a gun.
they may be doing maintenance.
Well, I don't know. No, probably. Well, I don't know. I don't know. It's not clicking over to their site at all. How are we doing time-wise? We got about 10 minutes.
Sometimes the websites go down to do modifications, install
Yeah,
upgrades, and could just be that.
Atkins Nature Aquariums is here. Hello, hello. The 10 o'clock crowd is coming in. Rohan. I don't know what he's referring to. Here I go again, jumping in the middle of the conversation, trying to make sense out of it.
Roxanne. Roxanne.
Is Roxanne here?
She is.
Yes, she is. Hi there, Roxanne.
Whoa.
Hello, hello. Are you going to forgive Lee, Roxanne? He really ought to be forgiven. I would have shared with him if you had sent that to me. I must admit I would have. I might have done it more privately than he did. But you can't fault him for his lack of skill. Only for his heart.
I'm still learning this stuff.
Oh, and I was so grateful he did. And we were faithful to you and not exposing you and not playing what you sent beyond that. So we're waiting with bated breath, and she's not talking to us. Love you, Roxanne. You are a dear. I listened to her latest video, or watched her latest video about her black moors. This woman, Roxanne, I'm going to embarrass you now because you got it coming. Roxanne is the sweetest lady I think I have ever met. She charmed me just with her voice. She never came on the video, never saw her face, but her voice is so sweet and so charming and so delightful that I just I was endeared to her instantly. Tommy Denda, would I come to Denmark sometime in the future and make a lecture if the interest is there? You betcha, Tommy. I'd come on a dime or a nickel. And if I ever get the Lee, I'll drag him and we'll both come up from jolly old England to visit you in Denmark. That would be a thoroughgoing joy, wouldn't it? You
Absolutely.
know, there's the bucket list, Lee. There's the bucket list.
I drink Danish beer. Carlsberg.
Oh,
And he knows exactly what I'm talking about.
absolutely.
It's lovely.
Roxanne's still working on it. Still upset with the Lee. Still love him, though.
That's empty.
Don't be upset with him. Don't be upset with him.
Okay.
Actually, she's right. She should be upset with you. I mean, that's appropriate. Because you did broach your confidence.
I lied. I made
Yeah.
a promise and I broke it.
Yeah, you did. So
No one can beat me up worse than I beat myself
right.
up.
That deserves approbation. It certainly does.
What can I do?
I know. Me too.
What can I do to make up?
Suffer the consequences.
I can do that.
Right. That's
On
all.
the chin. On the
Suffer
chin.
no. She won't deliver that level of consequence. It'll be something that will pierce the heart.
She's vindictive.
No,
She holds a grudge. She holds a grudge.
She is not. That's the whole issue.
Yeah.
She wouldn't matter. She is.
No.
She is a dear, sweet lady. We have a few here. We have a few, which I can count on the fingers of 2 hands and 2 feet, and still not have enough.
You can borrow mine.
Yeah, really. Add them all together. We have so many really dear, sweet ladies here. Just a whole host of them. 76, Arcus is saying. 76 is fine. Is that where we're at? No, we can't be. Is that true? 41 to 48. We're almost at 50. Almost to 50. Tommy Denda loves the idea. Rohan, check out the brooder video I sent. I will. Let's see. Cascee Bee's 40 gallon is 74 to 76. The important thing is to be stable. Lisa's chat has stopped working. I think there may be some problems. I should be able to get my farm link up, and it's not coming. Betsy's still here. I thought she was gone. Where is it? Right there. See if it'll come up. Did your background change color, Lee? It looks green. That's
I just
odd.
cleaned. It is green. I just cleaned the camera.
Oh, really? Funny.
The walls are this very, very light green.
Oh, I remember when you painted that.
Yeah.
Oh, what else? Susan is here. Hi, Susan. Talking about temperature, 76 degrees. So long as it's now it's more kind of pale blue. Do I want to call it?
It's called apple white. Apple white.
Apple white. Okay.
Yeah, that's what it's
Okay.
called.
Sort of a very pale green.
Very pale.
Very pale. Right. Lisa says the internet's crazy today. Yeah, we're right in keeping with it all, aren't we? Talking about temperature, 76 temperature. It's so long as it's stable, it's fine. What's the matter?
I found one of the big frogs in there. Looked like he was starting to drown, and his one leg wasn't working.
In here?
Yeah.
So you moved it?
I moved him into a terrarium.
Oh, all right.
He's right here. I think he just needs like 24 hours.
You know, we found one back in a tank. Not in the fish tank, in one of the empty tanks.
Really?
One of the barking frogs.
Oh.
Is it the one with the speckles on it?
Yeah.
Yeah, the barking frog. We found him back there. He probably is starving. He probably hasn't gotten any food and maybe too weak to eat.
Where is he now?
Well, that's the one you've got. We put him in here.
Oh, okay.
And he obviously is not making it. So
well,
we'll see
I
if
didn't want him to
put
die.
some crackets in.
I did.
Crickets.
He's got
Crackets.
crickets in there.
Right. Put
Along with some
crackets.
crackers. And, yeah.
Crackers, yeah, saltines.
Yeah.
Saltines for the frog, right.
Yeah, he has a little log there.
All right. Well,
So,
hopefully.
I know.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
All right.
Okay.
Betsy cares deeply about our little critters. Oh, love the shirt today, Lee, says Cascee Bee. It is nice, isn't it? Roxanne says the internet's taking its morning constitutional. Ken is back. Ken D. I have to go. Catch up with you soon. Wishing you, your family, brother and sister, fish keepers, a blessed, healthy, and safe day and weekend. Ken from Lake Havasu City, Arizona. All right. We're getting down to it here. I need to get. Isn't that funny? Can't read. Let's see if I can get back on. YouTube comes up. That's helpful. And down to here, we're going to turn it off for the moment. Jumping over. What are you doing? Trying to make a hair grow? What?
I thought it was about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, but it's 3.
I know.
I'm in trouble. I've got to go.
Oh my God.
I've got work to do.
We're at it right now. We're done.
Oh, goodbye, everybody. Thank you for having me. I have to go. See you tomorrow.
Bye, Lee.
This one out. Let's talk about fish, baby. Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about all the good things and the bad things that may be. Let's talk about fish.
Bye.
Let's talk about fish, baby. Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about all the good things and the bad things that can be. Let's talk about fish. Fish. Let's talk about fish.
Oh, Andy,
Let's talk about
you just missed
fish.
Ken. He was just with us.
Instrumental break. Let's talk about fish, baby. Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about all the good things and the bad things that may be. Let's talk about fish. Let's talk about fish. 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 Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about all the good things and the bad things that may be. Let's talk about fish. Let's talk about fish. Fish.
Bye,
I'll play
all.
that one all day. I'll play it back and I'll see
Bye-bye.
what I think.